All right, so here's the second day of section 3.14 with the systems. And right now we're going to be doing is word problems. Yeah, stop complaining. All right, but we're going to walk you through, help you out with all these word problems. At some point, I'll tell you pause the video, or you just pause the video whenever you feel like, all right, I want to give it a try, but then hit play and you'll see I'll go through it again. All right. So a student has 14 coins in his pocket. They're either quarters or nickels. They sell $2. I mean, they have a total of $2.50. How many of each type of coins does this kid have? All right. So the first part. So they're breaking it up. All right. So they're breaking this thing up, hoping that it'll help you figure out the problem. All right. They'll walk you through because I know how much you guys love word problems. All right. So what is it that you're looking for in the problem? Well, what is it you're looking for? How many of each coin does he have? All right. So the very first thing is, what are they looking for? The number of quarters. And then the other thing is the number of nickels. All right. And defined. Define the variables. All right. So we want to define the variables. You guys always just liked using x and y. All right. So let x equal. Well, what is x going to equal? And don't just tell me quarters, because then I'm gonna be ignorant and ask a bunch of questions. What kind of quarters? How much? All right. What color are they? What are they? Shiny? Are they dirty? All right. So be specific. And when you were being specific, you actually wrote it down right there. All right. So x is going to be the number of quarters. All right. So how many? And then y is how many. All right. So I guess we could have put how many up here also. How many quarters? How many nickels? All right, that's what we're looking for, is how many. What conditions are given in the problem? All right, what conditions are given in the problem? Well, they're asking, when they're saying, is the totals. Well, what are the totals? There's 14 total coins. And then what other totals are there? There's $2.50 total cents. All right, so the total amount of money. And that's going to help us when we have to come up with part D. When we have to come up with the equations ourselves, that's going to help us out a whole lot. So when we come up, when we start doing part D, all right, when we have to come up with the equations, the very first thing is look back at C. What did they tell us? What did it equal? Well, what was the total? The total was 14. 14 what? It was 14 total coins. And what do we know? Well, there was x quarters and there was y nickels. So x plus y is equal to 14. Now the next one. The total was $2.50. Well, since that's a dollar amount, how much was each quarter? How much is a quarter worth? How much is a nickel worth? So a quarter is worth 25 cents. So 25 cents times the number of quarters there are will give us a total amount of money, plus the total number of nickels. I mean, excuse me, the amount that the nickels are. So 5 cents. This is the way you write 5 cents times y. All right. So there's our two equations. Now, when we solve, remember, yeah, last lesson we separated them because it's just so much easier. And I might run out of room here, but you get the idea. All right. I never get enough room to write. All right. So we have to solve. This for x or y. All right. So doesn't matter which one we solve for. I'm just going to solve for y. All right. I'm going to do that every single time. So it means I'm going to have to subtract x from both sides. So y is equal to negative x plus 14. All right, now I'm going to take this and plug it in for y. All right, now I'm really not going to have enough room here, so this is just going to get aggravating, but I'm just going to write 0.25 plus 0.05 times negative x plus 14 is equal to $2.50. Distribute, all right, do all that good happy stuff, and we end up with 0.25 minus 0.05x plus, looking at my cheat sheet here because I already did all the calculations, 0.70 is equal to $2.50. All right, so 14 nickels is 70 cents. All right, combine like terms, we subtract, so 0.02x plus 0.70 is equal to $2.50. Let me subtract that 70 cents from both sides. All right, when I subtract that 70 cents, I end up with equals $1.80. Divide both sides by 0.2, x is equal to 9. Now, what do I do with this? All right, you guys remember, I got to take this 9 and plug it in for x. All right, let me plug it in for x. So y is equal to negative 9 plus 14. Y is equal to 5. All right, they want us to verify. I'm going to let you guys do this. I'm not going to I don't want to waste video time doing this, but you're going to do this. X plus y is equal to 14. Remember, you plug in the 9 plus 5, right? You do that. And then the other one, that's 0.25 x plus 0.05 y. Holy crap, I'm going to run out of room. All right, you want to make sure that that equals $2.50. So you're going to plug in the 9, all right? You're going to plug in 9 right there, and you're going to plug in 5 right there, and make sure it equals. All right, I'll let you do that. All right, write your answer to the problem using complete sentences. All right, so what do we do? What do we figure out? We figured out there are 9 quarters and 5 nickels. All right, that's what we figured out. And just remember, when you write your answer, all right, always x then y. All right, it's always x then y first. All right, next one. A 100-point test consists of 2-point questions, 5-point questions. There are a total of 44 questions on the test. How many questions of each type are there? All right, so again, what are you looking for in the problem? You're looking for the number of 2-point questions and the number of 5-point questions. All right, and since again we always used to use x and y, it just makes it much easier. What is x representing? Well, x represents the number of 2-point questions. Do you see how they're trying to get you to think here? What does y represent? The number of 5-point questions. All right, and I apologize for how sloppy this writing is, but it's hard to write on this tablet. What conditions? All right, what totals? What totals did they give us? Well, they told us there were 44 total questions. All right, there's 44 total questions, and then there was a 100-point test. All right, so 100 total points. Now, when we write our equations, again, equals 44. Well, what equals 44? 44 total questions. Well, there was a certain number of 2-point questions plus a certain number of 5-point questions, and those equaled 44. And then our other one, it equaled 100 points. Well, what equaled 100 points? Well, there were each 2-point question. So how many 2-point questions were there? I don't know. So 2 times x plus 5 times y, because The Y represented the number of 5-point questions, and it was worth 5 points. All right, so let's solve. All right. All right, again, I'm just solving for Y. I'm going to do that every single time. Now I'm going to substitute. So 2x plus 5 times negative x plus 44 is equal to 100. All right, so we have 2x minus 5x plus, because I have no idea what 44 times 5 is. What is that? 220 is equal to 100. So I have negative 3x plus 220 is equal to 100. All right, what do I have to do? Subtract 220. So I have negative 3x is equal to negative 120. Divide both sides by negative 3. X is equal to 40. And again, remember, what do? I take this and plug it in for x. All right, plug it in. So y is equal to negative 40 plus 44. Y is equal to 4. So what's my solution? My solution is 44. All right. Again, I'm going to let you guys verify. I'm not going through that. You guys make sure it works. All right, get used to doing it. And then what's your answer in complete sentences? There's 40 2-point questions and 4 5-point questions. All right. All right. So now when we get to this side, they're not making us do all those steps. You do what's necessary. All right. You do what's necessary. I really think what's going to be necessary is figuring out what are the totals. All right. So you look up here. What are the totals? Well, here's one total right there. Here's another total right there. So you know that there's going to be um, those totals. All right. Now let's figure out what are our variables going to represent. What do the variables represent? All right. So x is going to represent what does x represent? Where was it at? How many hot dogs were sold. All right. And then what is y going to represent? How many pops were sold. So x represented the number of hot dogs sold. And don't just tell me hot dogs. Don't just tell me hot dogs. I'm gonna tell you, because then I'm gonna be ignorant. So what about the hot dogs? Are they old, big, small? They stale? All right. I'm gonna be stupid and just ask a bunch of stupid questions then. All right. Be specific. What does y represent? The number of pops sold. Don't just tell me pop, because then I'm gonna start asking a bunch of dumb questions. What kind of pop? How big are the glasses? All right. All right. So then let's get back to our totals. So what do we know? We know that there's going to be $78.50 total amount. All right, so total money. And then what was our other total? Our other total was total sold. So there was 87 total hot dogs. Oh, geez. And pops sold. All right. I know it's a pain, but if you get used to doing this, it actually makes problems easier for yourself. That actually makes them easier. All right. Now, our equations. All right. Our equations. Well, we're using the totals. We're using those totals to help us come up with the equations. So we end up with x plus y is equal to 87. And then what was the other one? 7. Oops, sorry about that. The other one was, how much did each hot dog sell for? $1.50 plus 50 cents per pop, and that gave us a total of $78.50. All right, so now let's start solving. All right, let's start solving. So we have x plus y is equal to 87. Y is equal to negative x plus 87, just like every single time I'm going to do this. All right, and then 1.50x plus 0.50 times, since I know y, it equals y, I mean, it's times y, I'm going to replace y with negative x plus 87, and that's equal to $78.50. All right. All I'm doing, I'm making the same mistake you guys make, forgetting the signs. All right. And then 87 times 50 cents ends up being $43.50. All right, combine, that gives me 1x. Since I'm running out of room, I'm just going to subtract this to the other side already. So 78 minus that gives me 35. All right, so then y is equal to negative 35 plus 87. Y is equal to 52. All right, and again, what did the x represent? X represented the number of hot dogs. So my solution is 35 hot dogs sold and 52 pops were sold. All right, now write that out. Write that out in words for yourself. There were 35 hot dogs and 52 pops sold. All right, so make sure you guys can do that for yourselves. All right, number 4. Again, what is x and y going to represent? X equals, y equals. Well, how do I determine that? Just go to the damn question. All right, just go to the question here. What does it say? How many were sold? All right, that's how we get x and y. Don't make a big deal about it. So, does it matter which one's which? Nope. So, how many cones? So, x is going to say the number of cones. So, the number of ice cream cones sold. All right, again, be specific, please. And then y represents the number of sundaes, if I spelled it right, sold. All right. Now, what are the totals? All right. What are our totals? Well, there's a total of 114 cones and sundaes. And here's another total. Here, let me make it a different color so it stands out. There's another total right there. All right. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for totals. So, all right. So one of the totals was, what was it again? All right, 114 total cones and sundaes, and then the other total was money, $301.50 total, total money. Okay, so we're going to use this to come up with our equations. So our first equation, x plus y is equal to 114. All right, next equation. Well, what was the cost of an ice cream cone? The cost of an ice cream cone was $2. So I have 2x plus, what was the cost? What was the cost of a sundae? The cost of a sundae was $3.50 times how many sundaes? I don't know. Is equal to $301.50. All right. Just like always, I try to do stuff without thinking too much. Solve for y. Right? Same steps every single time. All right, so 3.50. So now, if you want to just pause the video at this point right here so that you can try these problems yourself, just pause it. All right, fast forward through it so you don't have to listen to my mouth. All right, is equal to 301.50. All right, whatever 350, $3.50 times 114, 399. Again, sorry if my writing's so sloppy on this, but it's just so hard to write on these tablets. All right, so I end up with $1.50x, and I'm just gonna add, oh, sorry, that was supposed to be plus. Ooh, man, I almost made that mistake. All right, did you guys see my mistake? All right, that was supposed to be a plus. I had put a minus at first. So I'm going to subtract that from both sides. So it's equal to negative $97.50. All right, x is equal to 65. So when I plug that back in over here, I have y is equal to, oh, y is equal to 49. So my solution would be 6549. That would have with the way you would write the solution. But now write it in words. All right, get used to writing this stuff in words. So what am I going to write? I have no idea what I'm writing. There were X was 65 cones and 49 sundaes sold. All right. All right. So number 5. I'm going to just go through this quick now. Hopefully you guys can go through and start figuring things out. All right. If not, send me a message and I try to explain it a little bit better. So number 5, X is equal to the number of bikes. Y is equal to the number of skateboards. All right. Well, they told us that there were 54 total wheels. There were 21 total bikes and skateboards. All right. Well, X plus Y equals 21. You notice I'm not making any, trying not to make things tough for myself. All right. Just totals. And then we have the total number of wheels. Well, bikes have 2 wheels on them. Skateboards have 4 wheels. So y is equal to negative x plus 21. 2x plus 4 times. All right, I'm trying to just go through this fairly quick. Sorry, I couldn't read my own writing. All right, so there was X was the number of bikes, so there's 15 bikes. So if there's 15 bikes, there's going to be 6 skateboards, all right? So 15 and 6 are my totals here. Oh, sorry guys, I have no idea what just happened there. All right, now write it in words. Oh, I already said it, but let's write it down. There are 15 bikes and 6 skateboards. All right, last one. Okay, now I got much more room to write. All right, so very last one. What are they talking about here? These family of werewolves? What the hell? Okay, whatever. Family of werewolves. Here we go. All right, so reading the problem, X is going to equal the number of games. Y is going to equal the number of videos, and these are both rented. All right, how many were rented? Okay, so now looking for totals. All right, looking for totals. There's a total there. Where else was there a total? There's a total there. All right, so we know our totals. There's 12 total movies and games, and then it was a total of $49.92 was the total cost. I'm telling you, you guys get used to writing those totals down. It'll help you out so much better. All right, so now x plus y is equal to 12. And now let's do the total for the cost. All right, the total cost. Now we have to include the money in there. Games rent for $4.50. Movies are $3.99. All right, so highlighted them so it stands out for me. All right, X was the games, so each game cost $4.50 to rent, plus each movie cost $3.99 to rent, and the Big Bad Bear Werewolf spent $49.92. Right, well, I guess I don't need the dollar sign there. Oh crap! All right, again, just like every single time, x plus $3.99 times negative x plus 12 is equal to $49.92. And I'm hoping at some point you guys just fast forward through this, you do the work yourself, and you check your answers. All right. So 450x minus 399x plus whatever 12 times 399 is, I have no idea, 4788. All right. So combine like terms, that's 51x. And I'm just going to subtract from both sides. All right. So 4992. What the hell? 4992. 4992 minus 4788 gives me 204. Divide both sides by this 51.51. X is equal to 4. Well, if there was 4 games rented, there were 8 movies rented. All right. So again, 4 and 8. Just remember, X always goes first, guys. All right, don't screw up and put 8 and then 4. All right. So then in words, there. All right, Mr. Werewolf rented. There were 4 games rented and 8 movies rented. All right. I hope that helps. Let me know.